Most people think that staying youthful after 60 requires extreme diets, expensive trainers, or hours in the gym. But what if I told you that John Stamos, yes, the ever-charming Uncle Jesse himself, is living proof that you don't need any of that to feel younger, move better, and look forward to your mornings? At 61, John Stamos swears by 3 simple morning habits that, according to him, completely changed his life, and not in the ways you'd expect. What's even more surprising, it has almost nothing to do with heavy workouts or trendy diets, and everything to do with the way he starts each and every day. In today's video, we're diving deep into the morning routine of John Stamos and breaking down exactly what makes his over 50 lifestyle so effective. From the breakfast he refuses to skip, to the movements he does before most people have even finished their first coffee, to the small, easy-to-copy rituals that help him recover and keep stress away. We're unpacking every step. If you want to know how to actually have more energy, keep your joints healthy, and look forward to each morning without feeling stiff or tired, keep watching. These are changes any guy can make. You don't have to be a celebrity, and you don't have to spend a fortune. There's this idea out there that people like John Stamos just have good genes, or some secret Hollywood hack for staying young, but that couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, John hit a wall in his late 40s. He talks openly about feeling constantly tired, noticing little aches and pains, and watching his energy dip as work and life got more stressful. There was a point when he realized he was just going through the motions, grabbing fast food between sets, losing sleep, and feeling burned out. He'd always been active, but the old routines weren't working anymore. That's when he decided to make a change, not by going harder, but by getting smarter about how he started his days. For John, the big breakthrough wasn't a new supplement or a high-priced trainer. It was paying attention to how he felt every single morning, and then adjusting his habits until he found what worked. Over time, these small changes turned into a routine he now credits for his energy, focus, and the way he bounces back after long days or tough weeks. That's why his approach is such a powerful blueprint for any man over 50 who wants to not just slow down aging, but actually feel better than ever. Let's start with the first thing John Stamos does each morning. He makes breakfast a non-negotiable ritual, but not just any breakfast. Gone are the days of skipping meals or grabbing whatever's convenient. Now, John says his mornings always begin with a bowl built on the Mediterranean principle. Real, whole foods that feed his muscles, his mind, and his gut. He's talked about starting with thick, creamy Greek yogurt, topped with a handful of walnuts or almonds, a drizzle of honey, and a burst of color from fresh berries. Sometimes he swaps in sliced bananas or a sprinkle of chia seeds, but the idea stays the same. He's giving his body a slow, steady dose of protein, healthy fats, and antioxidants. On days when he's feeling hungrier, he'll whip up a quick veggie omelet or a bowl of steel-cut oatmeal topped with fruit. But you'll never find him starting the day with processed cereals or a stack of syrup-soaked pancakes. Why does he keep it so simple? John says it's not about counting calories or chasing the latest trend. For him, it's about supporting muscle retention, something every guy over 50 should care about, while keeping his blood sugar stable and his digestion on track. Greek yogurt gives him the protein his body needs to hold onto muscle. Nuts and seeds add healthy fats that fight inflammation and support brain health. The berries deliver antioxidants, which are crucial for cell repair and fighting off the aches and pains that sneak up as we age. The best part is that this kind of breakfast doesn't take a chef or a Hollywood paycheck. You can build it in less than 5 minutes, wherever you are. And because it's high in protein and good fats, it keeps you full and focused long after the morning rush. John believes the reason he feels lighter, sharper, and just plain happier these days is that he finally stopped starving himself or loading up on sugar at breakfast. He found what works, and he sticks to it. Now, here's the part most people get wrong. If you ask the average guy how to look younger or keep your energy up after 50, they'll tell you to avoid fat, skip carbs, or cut out entire food groups. But that's not how John Stamos does it. In fact, he's pretty relaxed about his diet, with a few very specific exceptions. He's said many times that the biggest difference came from cutting out 3 foods in the morning: sugary pastries, processed meats, and fruit juices. The pastries, think muffins, donuts, or cinnamon rolls, always left him feeling sluggish and crashing before lunch. He used to think fruit juice was a healthy choice, but after learning how quickly it spikes blood sugar, he traded it for water or black coffee. And processed meats like bacon and sausage, he noticed they made his joints ache and his stomach bloat, especially after 50. John says, "It's not that I never touched these foods, but when I made them the exception instead of the rule, everything changed. My energy stayed up, my gut felt better, and my skin even started looking healthier. He's quick to point out that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent with the choices that make you feel good. If you're a man who wants to avoid that midday crash, joint pain, or the creeping weight gain that sneaks up with age, try swapping out just one of these foods tomorrow morning. You'll feel the difference before you even finish your first cup of coffee. So what about exercise? You might imagine John Stamos starts his days with a personal trainer barking orders or an hour-long weight session at some fancy gym. But here's the twist. His approach to fitness is all about sustainability and sanity. John believes that what you can do every day matters way more than what you can do for an hour once in a blue moon. His routine starts with something anyone can do, a brisk 20-minute walk, first thing in the morning. Whether he's at home or traveling, John makes it a point to get outside and move before the day's distractions take over. He says it clears his head, wakes up his body, and sets a positive tone for everything that follows. On 3 mornings a week, he'll add a quick bodyweight circuit. Push-ups, squats, planks, and a few yoga-inspired stretches. The whole thing takes less than 20 minutes, but it gets his blood pumping, wakes up his muscles, and keeps him mobile. John insists you don't need fancy gear, a gym membership, or even a perfect routine. What you need is a plan you can stick to, even on your busiest days. The walking and simple circuits aren't just about burning calories. They keep his joints loose, his back pain at bay, and his energy up without risking injury. He's said many times, consistency beats intensity, especially after 50. The key is to move your body, even if it's only a little, and to make it as non-negotiable as brushing your teeth. If you're watching this and thinking, I can't do an hour at the gym, good news. You don't need to. Try this tomorrow. Go for a walk before breakfast, do a few squats and push-ups, and stretch your back and hips. That's it. Simple, repeatable, and proven to work. Of course, there's more to feeling young than just food and exercise. Recovery matters. And for John Stamos, sleep is the real superpower. He calls it his secret weapon, and he treats his sleep routine with the same respect as any job on set. John never brings his phone to bed. He charges it in another room, uses blackout curtains to keep his bedroom pitch dark, and always spends the last 20 minutes before sleep reading something calming, never scrolling. On days when his schedule is packed, he's not afraid to take a quick nap in the afternoon, even if it's only 10 minutes. He says this one habit has made more difference in his mood, focus, and muscle recovery than any supplement or fitness trick. Speaking of supplements, John keeps things simple here too. He takes magnesium before bed, which helps his muscles relax and supports deeper sleep. He's a big fan of collagen peptides, stirring them into his morning coffee or smoothie to support his joints and keep his skin looking healthy. Once in a while, he'll use a quality multivitamin, but he doesn't believe in overloading on pills. Experts agree. Men over 50 who prioritize sleep and basic recovery habits see improvements in everything from testosterone levels to joint pain and even brain function. For John, the real benefit is waking up ready to tackle the day, not just dragging himself out of bed. Let's clear up one of the biggest myths out there. You don't have to avoid carbs, and you don't have to spend hours on the treadmill to stay lean or energetic after 50. John Stamos is living proof. He eats carbs, just the right kind. Oats, fruit, whole grain toast with his eggs. These aren't forbidden. In fact, they're fuel. The difference is, he avoids the processed, high-sugar versions that sap your energy and make recovery harder. And as for cardio, John doesn't waste his mornings on endless jogging or cycling. He's far more focused on short bursts of movement, mobility work, and functional strength, because those are the things that keep you active and injury-free as you age. It's not about how long you spend sweating, but how smartly you move your body. Most people don't realize that these little changes add up far more than the occasional all-out session. It's not just John's experience that backs this up. Trainers who work with men over 50 consistently recommend daily movement, like walking or short bodyweight sessions over long, punishing workouts. Nutritionists and doctors point to Mediterranean-style breakfasts as some of the best for longevity, supporting heart health, muscle retention, and stable energy. Dr. Andrew Weil, one of the leading names in anti-aging, credits the Mediterranean diet's anti-inflammatory power for helping people stay healthy into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. And when it comes to recovery, top sleep experts agree. Keeping screens out of the bedroom and winding down with a book is a game changer for deep, restorative sleep. These aren't Hollywood gimmicks. They're simple, proven strategies anyone can use. So, let's recap the Stamos morning formula. Wake up, eat a breakfast built on real food, skip the sugar and processed junk, get your body moving, even if it's just a walk and a stretch, and protect your sleep like your health depends on it. Add a couple of simple supplements, like magnesium or collagen, and you've got a blueprint for feeling better at 50, 60, or any age. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of John's habits surprised you the most? Are you already doing any of these? Or is there one you're going to try tomorrow morning? Drop your answer in the comments. I read everyone, and I love hearing how these small changes make a difference in your lives. If you want more real-world practical tips from the fittest celebrities over 50, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We break down the real routines and habits. No hype, no gimmicks, just what works. And if you haven't seen our last video on how Jeff Goldblum at 71 still moves like he's 40, you need to check it out next. Click right here, and I'll see you over there. Stay strong, stay sharp, and remember, you don't need a Hollywood budget to feel your best after 50. Sometimes it's the little things you do every morning that add up to the biggest changes.